But here's another example of like, I will do Spinball Dash, self-trait disable. Now when he does an AoE skill, if he does it, Mad Whispers. Oh no, I still had Megaton. What the heck? Oh, I had trait protection. Dark Uma, you let me down. Hey everyone, it's Army Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Welcome to an exclusive first look at the brand new monster, Pangoliath. This is going to be a fun and exciting video because these new monsters SP is releasing are pretty darn awesome. Pangoliath in particular is an interesting one because he starts the game off with Megatons. He is officially, I want to say, the second monster to start the game off with Megatons and to keep a permanent Megaton. Centurion is the other monster that comes to mind, but he's from the legendary era. So we now have a corrupted monster that has Megatons as a trait. This monster will keep it unless it is trait disabled. So this is different than the Shellies and the Hammergroms and the Mouserons and the Ollie Fanatics. It's different from all these monsters that have a status caster Megatons, right? Even going back to the legendary era, Mephistos and Dunraws, they have a status caster. It can be cleansed, yeah, they can reapply, but this monster keeps it. So you do gotta be a little careful with it because if a monster is attacking this guy, you know, there's Dispelling Fist in the game that normally gets rid of Megaton and all that. Well, this guy's gonna keep Megaton, so he's gonna be absorbing 3 times the damage every single turn. So you gotta be careful with him. You gotta make sure he can survive. At rank 1, you get the Hardened trait. I highly recommend you get this monster at least to rank 1 because not only do you get the Hardened trait, which can help you to not get denied and not get hit with dots, it will also help you so you can use your talents. Because remember, you need to rank them up. You need to ascend a monster to be able to utilize talents on corrupted monsters. And then at rank 3, you get Tough. So yes, it is worth getting this monster to rank 3 because with Tough, it's an increased Hardened. Now you have a 35% chance to not get hit with any negative effects. So no denial and less tortures against you. So trait-wise, very awesome. Megaton as a permanent trait, that is great. Pangoliath works with Brother by Choice Panion as a courier. They travel together, but things on the road can get a little dangerous. When that happens, Pangoliath tends to be a bit impulsive and attack straight away. Thankfully for him, Pangoliath is there to watch his back and be the reasonable one and to absorb all the attacks because he has Megatons. Alright, let's talk about his stats. So his power stat comes up at 8272, which honestly is a below average power stat, although it is tied with that of Funkeratops, Tertullian, Elf, Hammergrom, Mouseron, and Waldorf. So as you can see, I mentioned some top monsters and some Megaton monsters, and then Waldorf just happens to have that power stat as well. The life stat is 94702, which is a unique life stat. This is the only monster to have that life stat, and it puts him in 7th place overall. The only monsters to have a higher life stat than Pangoliath are Dark Uma, Funkeratops, Tomska's Mine Turtle, Tertullian, Ruchan, and Modrak. And then we have this guy in 7th place. And for the speed stat, as you might expect, he's rather slow. He has 6226, so that is very slow. The only monsters he's faster than are Elf, Hammergrom, Kenray, Mouseron, Mine Turtle, Funkeratops, Rucha, Ollie Fanatic, and Boronauts. So considering I mentioned a good amount of Megaton monsters, he's faster than Mouseron and Ollie Fanatic and Kenray and Hammergrom. He's actually the fastest of the Megaton monsters, even though he has permanent Megaton, so that's pretty cool. So here we have this monster, also great design. Let's go ahead and rank him up to rank 1 so we can check out his skills. Alright, so let's take a look at Pangoliath's skill set. Now, I did go ahead and take him to rank 5, level 150. I figured it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, he's just a Megaton monster. All rank 3 gives him is the Tough, which helps so he doesn't get denied or get hit with dots or any negative effects in general. But yeah, he's tankier. I suppose I could have used him at level 100, but I do have a video using him at level 4 if you want to check that one out. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at his skill set. So he has Pandolf's Protector, deals moderate earth damage to an enemy, 30 stamina, 0 cooldown, moderate earth damage, whatever. We have Skelly Anteater, applies a 50% life shield to itself. This is potentially useful because you are a Megaton monster, you're going to be absorbing attacks, okay? You're going to be absorbing all of the attacks, so the fact this monster can spam a 50% life shield every single turn, that could prove to be very beneficial. See what else we have. Keratin Spikes, applies damage mirror to itself, requires cooldown. This is personally what I really like on this monster, considering you're going to be absorbing 3 times the damage when the enemy does an AoE. The fact that you can reflect all that damage against one enemy monster, that is going to be powerful, so for sure you're going to want to run that skill. We have Heavy Roller, which deals moderate special damage to an enemy and applies stun and daze. This is a way to deny the enemy monster. We have Unyielding Defense, which applies a 30% life shield and Megaton to itself. This monster does not need a status caster Megaton when you already have Megatons. Now, the use of this skill is if you were to get trait disabled, and of course there is a talent called Smite that can trait disable. There's monsters that can trait disable as well, Qiaolong being the most popular of the bunch, so it could be useful to run a Megaton skill. We have Shake of Sands, which is an AoE daze against all the enemy team. This is also, because it's an AoE skill, it can help you do talents against the enemy if you're running like a Burning Hands or something. We have Keratin Reflect, which applies a 50% life shield and 50% damage mirror to itself. I like this one too. So the difference between these two is that one is 100% damage mirror and the other is a 50%. But Keratin Reflect is nice because it all provides a medium shield. And again, you have Megaton, you're absorbing a lot of damage. And last but not least, we have Spin Ball Dash, which deals moderate spell damage to one enemy, applies stun to one enemy, and then it disables trait and gives one extra turn to itself. So, disables trait and gives one extra turn to itself. Okay, I'm confused now. Do you disable your own trait or do you disable the enemy's trait? Let's find out right now. Okay, we're going to verify what this skill does, because when I saw it on the sneak peek, I thought it was going to disable trait on the enemy, and then when I saw it on the official forum, I think it said it disables its own trait, but now we're going to find out what it really does. So Spin Ball Dash, so it does self-trait disable for anyone wondering. Okay, so that is another benefit to running the Megaton skill. You could do that skill and then go into a taunt, right? Or if you're running both stun skills, you could go ahead and do stun and then stun again, and see, we've immobilized 2 enemy monsters by running both stun skills. So there is some usability to that skill, definitely. Maybe, let's say you don't want to run Megaton because you're going to get hit with an AoE. Maybe you have a taunt monster on your side, and maybe you have a dodge area monster on your team. In that case, maybe potentially self-trait disabling you is also a tactic, so you don't take all the damage, and that way you split the damage between the taunt monster and your Pangoliath. So I suppose there are some strategies to it. So we'll mess around with it for sure. Alright, so going back to the skill set, I think what we're going to run is, let's make sure we have that 100% damage mirror skill, and then we're going to run the 50% damage mirror skill. These are the two skills I think we're going to be maining and using most of the game. I want the spammable 50, and then I think I want the singular stun. So the skill set I'm going to be using on Pangoliath is this skill right here. In terms of relics for this monster, give him an armor that makes him tankier, give him Tiny's amulet, this recovers stamina, he doesn't have to worry about it, especially if he gets stamina drained. And then for talents, I say you want to go with a Sin Eater. Where is Sin Eater? You want to go with a Pain Distiller because this cleanses tortures, and tortures are an easy way to kill enemy monsters. So you want to go with the Pain Distiller, or you want to go with a Sin Eater. So I'm going to do Sin Eater just because that cleanses negative effects, and that could help if I get hit with a stun, a freeze of possession, or something. So that's going to be my set for the monster. In terms of rune setup, I think you want it to be slow. You want to go 2 team speed and a life, and the reason you're doing life is because you're going to absorb a lot of attack. You might even do 2 life and a team speed. You want him to be super tanky, and you want to just win with the reflecting damage using these 2 skills. That is the main strategy with this monster. So look, I'm not even going to run an attacker in that case. Let me see, who's another supportive like monster I could potentially run. We'll do Pure Pandoff. I'll start the game off with, yeah, we'll see how that works. So let's just try it out. Pure Pandoff, I'll start the game off with Evasion, so that also helps me survive a little bit. Maybe the enemy has Dispelling Fist, maybe not. We're taking on some Pierce monsters, so it doesn't even matter. So right away, I got rid, I lost my Evasion, I lost my traits. I'm going to go ahead and do a Cleansing skill, so that gets rid of that. And we're going to set up that damage mirror. And here's actually why I really like Igoribuki, because I can actually protect that damage mirror, so it won't get cleansed away. Light them up. Alright. And then unfortunately Tabora is not really an attacker, so we don't get to see this actually in effect. And because the monster has Pierce, I'm not reflecting any damage, so let's look for a different battle. Now the biggest thing Pangoliath has against him is that he's an earth monster, and you're going to be taking on Lord Nabotis, who can probably OTK you with an AoE skill because he has the elemental advantage. Same goes for if you're taking on a Karukage, so that's going to be a huge issue. And then if you're taking on the Pierce monsters, like, oh, what the heck, this isn't a speedy Kage that's not running Dispelling Fist? That's interesting. But yeah, I think we'll still see what kind of damage he can do. So I'm actually going to turn transfer because I want to lose the evasion. Alright, Yashu, he attacked me. I'm going to go with the 100% damage mirror. Let's see how much it reflects. So he hit me with the AoE. Look at that. That's a no strength Karukage, but I was able to reflect it all. Okay, next I'll set up the shield. Alright, Relics again. I'll set up the shield and the damage mirror. I'll protect it with positive effect protection. Boom, and a life regen. Stomp the mouse. Reflect the damage right back to you. Alright, let's see. Attacked me. I got frozen. Reflect damage back to you. Here, I am going to cleanse. I suppose I could cleanse. I'm honestly not even going to do anything. We are just... Actually, let's get rid of Megatons. Megatons are gone. He had to recharge. Unfortunately, my Sin Eater kicked in, thus giving me a turn. And then I can go in and try to stun. Boom. Oh, well, yeah, he's immune to stun. If it wasn't Cryo Crawl, I would have been able to potentially stun Kage. So again, that's kind of how that works. Alright, I'm hoping I get attacked again. Come on, I have damage mirror still for one more turn. Let's just keep recharging. Recharge. Recharge. We're gonna do the 100% damage mirror, and again I have Mega Taunt for the whole entire game. Oh, this is perfect. We'll turn transfer, so he can get 2 turns in. So he attacks me, I reflect damage. He attacks me again, I reflect damage. So that's this main's monster's way of winning. Just doing that damage reflection, and whenever I need to, I can run a support to cleanse. Maybe using it like a Jakuna High for support. Maybe using... It really depends who you're using. Here, let's cleanse that. Recharge. Oh, look, 50% shield, so that helps me stay alive. But again, you're taking on Dark Monster in the meta, so that is a tough one for you. Here, we'll do another one. Hopefully there's some stronger opponents, but when you look at the meta right now, Spec has Pierce, so you're not going to be reflecting damage, and then I really fear that an attacker Kage and an attacker Lord Nabotis, they're going to OTK you. Yeah, you're going to be in trouble. Let's just cleanse positive effects from the enemy. Let's set up the 100% damage mirror. Let's protect it in case the enemy has anything. Misery Spores, I got hit with Possession. Let's just cleanse that away. He's going to attack me. Mud Claws. Boom, right back at you. Look at that. I actually killed Gartox just by reflecting damage. Let's do Keratin Reflect. Blinding Punch right back at you. In this case, I think we're free to turn transfer. And I can just stun. Well, I can just stun. Heavy Roller. Stun actually died. Came back to life. Yeah, but that's how this monster works in terms of using them for the damage mirror mechanic. Let's play around with that skill, that interesting skill that self-trades Disable. So if you wanted to run that, I suppose, let's see. I suppose you could run both stun skills. I would say you could forego one of these. I'd probably keep the 50% shield because you want to stay alive, right? You want to stay alive. As for this Megaton skill, do you need it? Because you'll get it back, right? You'll get it back. It really depends who your teammates are. So going back to the idea of, like, maybe you run Dark Uma. Where's Dark Uma at? Dark Uma. So Dark Uma can absorb some attacks. And maybe you have a dodge area monster. So Lady Meow is my popular one. So assuming you had a team like this, right? Let's just see how this battle goes. The cool thing about Dark Uma is also I started off with random positive effects. So who knows how this battle is going to go. So let's see. I have a immunity to control. Cool. Trade protection. 100% damage mirror. So let's do Emperor's Dot to block 50% of incoming damage. There we go. Let's say my attacker isn't going yet, so I'm just going to recharge. So again, I have Megaton. I'm absorbing everything, right? I'm absorbing all the AoEs and everything. It gets dangerous. Thank goodness for Sin Eater cleansing that. It gets dangerous. But let's run. Let's do Spikes. Let's damage mirror here. Mighty Claws, Reflect. And let's go for a cleansing. Let's go Wish Granted. And then again, let's say my attacker doesn't do anything. Hideous, Luck, Petal Scythe. Oh, I died, see? Because I absorbed the AoE, so that's what you have to watch out for. So maybe, well, I could have actually stunned the monster so that didn't happen. But that would have been an example of, like, maybe you trade disable you so the enemy attacker doesn't hurt you too much. Alright, there we have a strong, powerful Lord Nabotis. So we're gonna block incoming. Oh, you know what? That's why I'm running the wrong skill. So the other skill, the AoE, is actually the one that blocks incoming damage for the whole team. So I should be running the other skill. So that's my bad. By the way, for shout out to everyone that mentioned it in the comments. Yeah, I should be running the team one. Alright, oh wow, I have triple damage. So here's a good example. Like, what if I do this? Spin ball dash. Alright, I'll do it on Gartox. Boom. And I lost it. So now he did an AoE, and see how it got spread across my Dark Uma and it got spread across Pangoliath? So I think that's how it could potentially work. And look, then my Sin Eater just cleansed the negative effect away, and I have my Megaton back. So yeah, maybe you don't even need to run the Megaton skill, because now look, I still have my taunt skill, my stun skill, my regular one, and that's me absorbing the AoE dark based attack from a 130 Lord Nabotis. So it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. Here, let's cleanse everything away. Thank goodness. So yeah, having some sort of support monster will definitely help out. Let's give him the proper skill he should have. So Dark Uma, you should be running Ambitious Wishes because it's for your whole team. Block 50% of incoming damage for your whole team. So this can definitely help your Pangoliath stay alive in a dark meta. Alright, so let's see how this goes. And oh my gosh, look, see? We have a Pierce monster and then we have a Dark monster. Dangerous. So I will start the game off with Ambitious Wishes. Yeah, that'll protect me. I got my damage protection on. I think we're going to kill Spec. I actually don't want to deal with Spec, so let's just get rid of Spec. I'm okay dealing with you. Let's do Spikes. And then Corruption Lord. Oh, he actually just went for an attack. Alright, I'm going to do, let's see, doubles max life. Wish Granted. Let's cleanse that Corruption. Let's recharge Scorch Wolves right back at you. So yeah, the damage meter is powerful, as you're seeing here. I took down the monster with that. But here's another example of like I will do Spinball Dash, self-trade disable. Now when he does an AoE skill, if he does it, Mad Whispers. Oh no, I still had Megaton. What the heck? Oh, I had trade protection. Dark Uma, you let me down. That would have been a good showcase of let me self-trade disable to stay alive. Oh man, though it is what it is. But at the end of the day, he is a permanent Megaton monster, so that in itself is powerful. You can synergize, as you saw at the beginning. I use Pure Pandoff. I started the game off with evasion. If the enemy can't take down the evasion, it's tough. Or if I have Pure Pandoff with my Igorobuki, anyone that can do positive effect protection, maybe Dark Uma, and I just happen to have positive effect protection, the enemy's not going to be able to take him down that easily, get rid of that Megaton. Then if you purposely make him slow, he can be trouble. He's really one of those monsters that at level 100, or keeping him at a low level in a war scenario, could probably help you out and win really tough wars. Like there's some videos I have where I still took on competitive opponents with a level 100 Centurion just because the enemy had no way of cleansing, because in a war scenario it's different than PvP and everything. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on Pangoliath. I think he's definitely a monster worth getting. He's someone you can use in this corrupted era, so please do not miss out on him. And with that being said, guys, thank you very much, and remember to subscribe.